Hi everyone, it's me, West Coast Mom, and today I have a knitting video for you. So I'm in the process of making my son just a winter scarf. Nothing terribly fancy. This is just the rib knit, and it's a long rectangular scarf because he just wanted something simple and straight and long. I'm using this really nice soft yarn from Heartland, Lion brand. The color is called Great Smoky Mountains, and it's this really nice sort of charcoal color, but it's not a solid charcoal. There's little sort of bits of light gray in it. So I really like how it's neutral, but there's a little bit of visual appeal to it. And then I like bamboo knitting needles. These are 5.5 Takumi Clover knitting needles that I really like. I like the bamboo because it slides and glides quite nicely. All right, so the trick with the rib knit is to get a straight edge. If you just simply go back and forth, you get a kind of a wonky looking edge and it doesn't look very nice. So you want to get this really nice straight edge on both sides so that it looks nice. So I'm going to show you the technique that my mother taught me. I have no idea if there's a special name for this or how I guess she learned it from her mother. And I'm sure you can find other things online, but I'm going to share with you how my mother did this. So the first stitch, all I did was slide it onto my right knitting needle. I didn't do anything to it. My yarn is now on top, and I'm gonna do a knit stitch. Typically the yarn would be underneath, right? For a knit stitch, but for this technique, I'm gonna put it on top, and I'm gonna do a knit stitch. And then what happens, because the yarn is on top, let me get a nice stitch in there, you will see that I will have two loops now. So I had the one that I slipped on, and then I have, because I had the yarn on top, I added two more. So I have increased by one, right? Because I really have only done 2 stitches, but now I have 3 loops. All right, so that's okay. Now I'm gonna continue on with the rib knit stitch pattern as normal, which is knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1 all the way across. And then we're gonna do something fancy at the other end so that that end is nice and smooth and straight too. My mom says this nice clean edge is also good for when you do cardigan sweaters. You know, at the front there where the buttons and the buttonholes are, you want a nice clean edge there too. If you don't do this technique, you get kind of a really sort of a bumpy, wonky looking edge. So, but this creates a really nice clean edge. Now some of you may notice that my knitting needles are at an interesting angle. They are at sort of a right angle here, creating 90 degrees. The way I knit, the way my mother taught me to knit, was to keep the right hand knitting needle tucked under my arm. I'm actually not holding this needle. The only thing that this hand is doing, my right hand, is working the yarn. So I actually only, and then my left hand holds this one needle, so I'm actually only just holding one needle. That's the way my mom taught me to do it. That's how she knit. I've never come across anyone else that knits like this. So if you are out there watching this and you hold your knitting needles like this, let me know, because I'd like to know that I'm not the only one who does this. Most of you, I know, you hold your knitting needles out like this and you work together. I can't do that. I find it awkward. I've tried to do that. I don't know how you people do that. I know there's different ways of holding knitting needles and stuff like this, but this is just the way that I am used to doing it. And I feel that I can work fairly proficiently and fairly fast this way. Now the rib knit stitch, this alternating knit 1 and purl 1, is one of those stitches I find that it takes forever. I feel like I've been working on this scarf forever. And despite that I keep working on it, I don't feel that I'm nowhere near it. This is my second ball of yarn that I'm doing because my son wants it nice and long so that he can wrap it around his neck. It's really nice and soft. It's perfect for winter. It's not itchy at all, you know, for any of you with sensitive skin. And it's acrylic, so it's machine washable, which is nice because you just never know, and it is easy to care for. All right, so don't forget at the beginning, I just slipped that first stitch on and then I knit, but with my yarn on top, so I ended up increasing by a stitch. So we are +1 at the moment. So what we're going to do now is, I'm nearing the end here. I'm going to keep going until I only have 2 stitches left to work on. Here they are, these two. What I'm gonna do is, I'm supposed to be doing a knit now, I'm gonna knit these two together. So in other words, these two are going to become one. So I've decreased. So at the front here, I increased, and I added a stitch here, and then at the end I decreased. So it works out in the end. All right, and then you create this really nice clean edge, which is nice and neat and tidy. And there you have it. That's how my mom taught me. Thanks for watching.